I'll let you guys see my pretty face today. All right, let's go back to number 1 and 2 first, then we'll do 3 and 4, then we'll go over our homework. Is this set of data representing a linear function? Yes, it is. Because if I add 4 down here, right? I'm getting to the next number, right? And up top, I'm adding 3. So, since the difference is the same, both top y's and bottom x's, when we write the change or the slope, it's the change in y's over the change in x's, right? Rise up and down, y's over run, x's right and left. If that's the same each time, it is a linear function then. Constant rate of change. Number 2 says find the intercepts. So let's do that first. I know that y is 0. For the y-intercept, I know the x is 0, right? So when y is 0, I just cover it up. 3 times what is 24? 8, thank you. And then when the x is 0, I cover that up. Negative 4 times what is positive 24? Negative 6. All right, so find the intercepts. We just did that. Write in slope-intercept form. What's that mean? Y equals mx plus b, right? Y, get y alone is what it means, right? So when I get y alone, I'm going to subtract the 3x. And divide by negative 4, right? So I'm not showing all the work, but you guys understand what I did, right? Kelsey?
We're still able to do it the way that we did it in freshman year, right? Like you find everything on the graph, like the slope, and then the y and the x.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying, yeah.
Okay.
There's more than one way to graph. I want you to be able to do all the ways, so, okay? Find x and y intercept, get y by itself, or use an xy table, okay? So we got a slope-intercept form. We got the x and y intercept, and then graph. So you could graph it either way. It didn't say which way you had to graph. So if we do the y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the x-intercept, we could do that, right? Or would that be line? Or if we want to start at the y-intercept, that's the b value, right? And rise 3 and run 4 from there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're back at the x-intercept. All right, so we can go either way. And then draw our line. Questions on number 2? Okay, number 3, is that vertical or horizontal? Horizontal. When it's y equals, horizontal. What's the slope of a horizontal line? 0. And then when it's x equals, it's vertical, which is undefined. So those are 2 things that you need to remember. Okay? That'll help you if you remember that. And then number 4, we're just looking at a roof. Okay? So if we draw a roof, okay, we just worry about half of it, right? Okay, now remember the building's down here, right? So from the ground to this part of the roof, it's 62 feet, and from the ground to the top of the roof, it's 125. So how tall is it from here to here? Again, from the ground, let's say this is the ground, to the very top is 125, and from the ground to that edge is 62. So how do I find the distance from there to there? Subtract them, right? Find the difference, which would be what, 63? So it's from the lower edge of the roof to the top, 63 feet, and then it goes 7.5 yards. So rise over run, it's just 63 over 7.5, right? Yes, no, maybe? Actually, no, why? Right, we gotta use the same units. They're using yards and feet here. So you gotta make them both yards or both feet. That make sense? So you get the correct slope. So if you put 63 over 7.5, you're thinking right, but you gotta have the same unit, okay? So how do I change yards to feet? Divide or multiply by? Yeah. To change from yards to feet, I'd multiply by 3. To change from feet to yards, I divide by 3, right? Okay, so multiply that by 3. What is it? 22.5 feet, I think. So actually our slope is 63 over 22.5. Do we like to write a fraction with a decimal in it? No. So what I usually do if that happens is I'll move the decimal point over and then I'll move it over. So that would be 630 over 225, and then we would reduce it. Let me show you how to reduce on your graphing calculator. Okay, and if you wanted, you could have done 63 over 22.5. We can do that. That's just division, right? When you put it over. We're going to get a decimal. All right, we don't usually write slope in decimal form. But here's how you can change a decimal to a fraction in this calculator. There's a button that says math on it right there. Like third one down there on the left side. Hit math. And this number 1, it says arrow fraction. That means it's changing it to a fraction for you. So all you have to do is hit enter twice. And it'll change it to the fraction that you're used to seeing, at least for slope, 14/5. So that's what you should get for that slope. Okay? Again, if you put 2.8, you're right. We just don't usually write it as a decimal. We usually write it as a fraction. That's all. I would give you credit for that if you wrote 2.8, but I would prefer to see a fraction. Questions on those warm-ups? Those making sense to you? Derek, doing all right over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So for number 22, Joe, what'd you get? Joe, yeah, you, Joe. Oh, you didn't do it. That's right. I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Derek, what'd you get? You did it. At least the first part, right?
I got linear.
You did get linear? You got the same change each time for the top and the bottom?
Oh, no, it's not linear.
Right, because that last time they did, it was going up by 1s each time, and then that last one went down by 1. So that's not linear. Good. 24, I guess you guys can't really tell me answer these because you're doing a picture, but all we gotta do there is go to -3, 0, and let's do this, or where's that? Here, let's go here, and then I'll move this down. Okay, we'll stay together today. There's that line. Okay, so for 22, slope of 2 passes through negative 3, 0. So negative 3, 0 is our x-intercept, and a slope of 2 means go up 2 and over 1. So that's what number 22 should look like. Or I'm sorry, 24. 26 passes through negative 1, negative 2. Negative 1, negative 2, so there's the point, and then the slope is negative 1/4. So you go down 1 for the negative rise and right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could go up 1 and left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the negative run. Questions on those two? Okay. 28. Hunter, what'd you get?
I got y 0, negative 3, and then x negative 3, 0.
Right. They're both negative 3. Number 30. How about Cameron?
I got x is 2 and y is negative 5.
Right. 2, 0 and 0, negative 5. Any questions on 28 or 30? All right. 32. Gabriel.
I got y equals 1.5, x equals 45.
For 32, you're just supposed to get y by itself instead of getting the x and y intercept. So we got to subtract 2x, so we get that. And then we were supposed to graph it. So you go up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6. And then down 2 and right 1. So it's negative 2. Looks like that. So make sure when we get to the quiz on Thursday, you do what it says. If you have to get y by itself and graph, make sure you do both. All right, make sure you get the graphs in. Questions so far? Okay. For 34, when you get y by itself, Liz, what's the equation? I think the negative 2 part's right. I think there's a number in front of it. The x for that one. What did you do? You divided by 3, right? Okay, you just forgot to divide the x by 3. You just did the 6 divided by 3. So what's in front of that x right now, before you divide by 3? What number's right there? I didn't write it. Yeah.
Negative 6.
No, negative 6 was how we got, I just changed the order. Okay, it was this, wasn't it? Yeah, that's how it was, right? Or 3y, actually, right? So that's how the 2 came up. But it's negative 6, right? I got these backwards. So when I divide that by 3, that's a negative 2. Right now, there's a 1, like you said. So when I divide by 3, what goes here?
3.
No.
It's a 1.
If it's a 1, you're just going to write it as 1 divided by 3. Okay? So our slope's 1/3 for that one. And then you're supposed to graph. Okay? So negative 2 is our y-intercept, up 1 over 3. Any questions? Is that making sense? Hannah, what'd you get for 36? Your answer, yeah. Oh, you said horizontal? Actually, it's vertical. Number 38, Abigail. You said vertical too? Yeah, good. 36 and 38 are vertical, because it's x equals. Okay, again, x equals a number is always vertical. No y in it. Y equals a number, no x in it, horizontal. All right, learn that. 40, A was 32 feet per second, and B was 40 seconds. And then 42, let's clear this off again. Forty-two is x plus y equals 8, and you were supposed to graph it. So since it's x plus y, it's not y by itself, which wouldn't be hard to do to get y by itself, but it's real easy to find the x and y intercept then. If I cover up the x, what's the y intercept? 8, right? 0, 8. If I cover up the y, what's the x equal? 8. So 8 zeros the x. So that'd be that easy to do 42. Okay, but you can get y by itself, and you get negative 1x plus 8. So then you go down 1 and over 1. Start at 8. Okay. Number 44, since it's 2y, so most y by itself. Let's make it a different color. What was it? 3x minus 1. When you divide by 2, remember, you divide everything by 2. That's a mistake some of us make. So negative 1/2 is my y-intercept, so halfway down to the first one. And then from there I go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'll make a few points, connect your points, there's your line. Okay. And then the last one you were supposed to do was 46. I think I would do x and y intercepts again because of the decimals. 0.2 plus 0.6 equals 1.8. So I would just put 0 in for y to find the x-intercept. So divide 1.8 by 0.2, and you'll get 9. And then I put 0 in for x to find the y-intercept, and 1.8 divided by 0.6 is 3. And then I don't have to mess with the decimals trying to get y by itself. So that's how I would do that one. But again, you can do any way you want. Get y by itself, make an xy table. It didn't give you a certain way to do it. Okay? Does that help? So what have we done so far in this chapter? 2.1. What was that? 2.1. Just solving equations, right? Did we have some inequalities that day too? That we graphed on a number line, or was that 2.2? We had some of that, right? Solving in equations and inequalities, right? The inequalities we graph on a number line. Okay? That's what we did section 1 of this chapter. Section 2 was proportions. What's a percent always go over? 100 equals what's the other side when it's a percent problem? Part over whole, very good. We cross multiply and divide for these proportions. That's basically it there, right? And then last night was finding x and y intercept, y equals mx plus b, little graphing. Okay, so your assignment tonight is going to be a practice quiz, and we'll go over it tomorrow. So the quiz will be Thursday, okay? So you can have the rest of the period to work on your practice quiz. And, let's make sure we get it submitted. Some of us are starting to get a little bit lax on our homework. Drake, you okay?
Yeah.
So I look tired today.
Yeah, for example,
I'll do it right now.
I have a phone.
Great job.
Mrs. Miller?
It's just, I think it's just a fairly regular.
When, whoever left comes back, we just left. Yeah, Ava. Thanks.
What period is this? 7?
You're welcome. Why? Why? You didn't watch the video last night when you got home? from your ball game?
Joey.
Oh my gosh.
Embarrassing.
You'll be fine. If you need help though, I'll help you.
All is. If you got caught slacking,
She did.
I didn't do my uniform. What'd you say? Why didn't do my uniform? I never did my
I'm telling you that on his birthday.
On her dad's birthday. I know. Dad's birthday. You know what? Wish your dad a happy birthday for me.
She did, sure.
Oh, yeah. Did you tell him my birthday too? Oh, did you tell him my birthday too? Awesome.
You know how many things? That's weird.
five, will it?